Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? My name is Bobby Plays. I'm a Call of Duty mobile content creator, and I'm glad to be back here on the main Call of Duty mobile channel, breaking down some gameplay for you guys. On top of the gameplay that I do make myself, I also was commentating for both regions of the Stage 5 COD Mobile Championships. Now, one of the really big storylines that we noticed throughout the weekend was Blacklist International's ability to break out and win the entire championship. Coming into the competition, most people wouldn't have even regarded them as the best team in Garena, let alone the entirety of the East, but throughout the competition, they constantly improved and made really big plays. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down 3 big brain plays that led to Blacklist International becoming the champions of the Eastern region. Hope you guys enjoy. Drop a like if you do. Hit the subscribe button for more Call of Duty mobile content like this, and we're going to go ahead and hop into the action. Now, coming into this, Almighty was definitely favored, but this is the first matchup between the two teams in the second day of gameplay. They went up against each other in the first one, and Blacklist was not even able to win a single respawn game. So the fact that they were playing this closely was surprising already, but what you're about to see is an absolutely huge play. If you look at the minimap down below, you're going to see player 3. He's going to be able to find 1. He's got the Sparrow, so it's going to be 10 right here. Turns around. He's going to get a player weak, and that's going to open up spawns. His teammate, Jabin, going to be able to push out, and you can see all the Blacklist players now in control of spawns for that rotation to P3. When I say P3, all I'm talking about is the third Hardpoint. Shutup's going to try to push out. Both of these teams are going to be battling for those spawns because P3 is the money hill here on Summit. Main reason being, if you have good spawns for P3, it's so easy for you to get access to the hill. Yes, there's a tiny chance that you do get spawn trapped, but if you're able to get that control, that can lead to a full 60 and potentially a win for your team. You're also going to see a really big brain play by Kenshi right here in the way that he placed his Goliath. We saw a mistake in the Western region last weekend where they placed the Goliath back toward the spawn rather than on the side. That led to it being wide open and exposed. He had to cross, and in the process, got hit by Bolu's Tempest. Kenshi's not going to make that same mistake, and because you got all this firepower and not a whole lot of accessibility if you're Almighty, it's going to be really, really difficult to take out, and because they've got spawns, they've got continued reinforcements, Edgy's going to be there even whenever the Goliath does get taken out, and the huge spawn control that goes into play early in that second hardpoint ends up winning Blacklist International game number 1. The next 200 IQ play that we're going to see from Blacklist International is going to come in the round 11 of the Search and Destroy. Now, just a little bit of backstory on how these teams and how these regions play Search and Destroy. I would definitely consider the Eastern teams to be more aggressive when it comes to the S&D, but for the most part, when it comes to the round 11s, it's relatively predictable what you're going to see, in that more than likely both teams are going to play incredibly passive. And one of the biggest faults that we had talked about previously was Blacklist's tendency to sit so far back in spawn when they're on defense that they're not going to get any information. This is what Almighty's going to be expecting out of them, but they're going to do the complete opposite. Looking at the mini map right here, you have 5 players flooding through A. Meanwhile, Almighty's sitting back just trying to gather information. Because the smokes are going to go out right there, Almighty has no idea what's coming at them. Now you have Blacklist players pushed up into power positions at every angle. Jabin's been able to get up to boxes. Heaven doesn't know that he's right around the corner right there. That opener is going to split things wide open for Blacklist right here. Incendio's trying to find a shot, but now that you got players on boxes outside, they're always going to be at the advantage when it comes to the gunfight. Jabin's going to be able to find another one right there with 3 players picked off. The major snipers out of the equation for Almighty. You really don't have a whole lot of options. You got 2 players, one has the bomb, but they're forced to sit back and hope that Blacklist makes a mistake. And if you're Blacklist, you don't really have any reason to move right now. You've got all the power positions on the map, 2 players in courtyard, players over on the bomb site, and with the bomb dropping right there, there's really no hope for Irfan J, as he's going to be forced to not only retrieve the bomb, but also take out the remaining players. He does his best, and honestly, this was the closest thing to a miracle that we saw all weekend. Couple mistakes out of those Blacklist players not playing each other's trades. He's going to be able to rotate out a little bit further and has an opportunity to find, I think, 1 more kill right here. But he was just put in such an impossible situation by the big brain plays that we saw at a Blacklist that he was required to pull off a miracle and try to find something right here. You can see players left and right for Blacklist right here. I'm actually shocked he was able to make it through right there. He's finally going to get found out on the inside of that broken wall. Scourge shuts him down, and a miracle comeback out of Blacklist there in the search and destroy. And no surprise for the final play, we have ourselves another round 11 between Almighty and Blacklist. Now, this was maybe the most shocking play of the entire tournament, obviously partially because of its timing, but also because of how it happened. So we're at the end of a game 5. We're in round 11. Heaven has been dominating through the entirety of it. He's got 15 kills so far, and as expected, especially being on the offensive side, Almighty's going to try to take up as much of that top area and get as much room as they can. Heaven's going to back things up, and for the most part, they play things very, very passive, waiting for an opening. You can see nobody on Blacklist is wanting to overextend, not even going past the B building to peek on the opposite side, just because there are so many risks involved in that. But right here, we're about to see the snipe of the tournament. This is one that I had to take a minute to figure out how he actually did it. I'm going to rewind it real quick and then actually show you guys how Kenshi managed to make that happen. So you can see Heaven going to that top side building. It looks like pure luck. From that POV, it doesn't make any sense, but I actually managed to figure out how he did it. So I hopped onto 2 accounts simultaneously, hopped into a custom room, and went to the doorway that I figured Heaven probably got sniped from. So this is what Heaven's POV would have looked like whenever he got sniped from Kenshi. Obviously, from this angle, you're not going to expect somebody way down here past this window to snipe you. But come to find out, if you go a little bit further forward in this video from the actual sniper POV, if you look right between right here, you can actually see between those slats. If you hover over top of a player right there, you can see their name pop up. If I had to guess, that's probably the angle that Kenshi was playing, especially knowing that there are 2 dominant snipers on Almighty in Heaven and Shut Up. He was banking on at some point one of those snipers checking one of those top angles, just because there's so much visibility across the map. And because the way this little corner is positioned down below the B building, there's not really any type of angle where anybody from Almighty could spot him out from. But the snipe goes through, and with the opener in play for Blacklist right here, life gets a whole lot more difficult for Almighty. And at this point, Blacklist just has to wait for Almighty to make mistakes. With Heaven out of the equation, he's been hard carrying for the entirety of the S&D. Shut Up is the only player that you can really bank on making a big play. And obviously, with it being round 11, their entire tournament hopes are on the line. There's more pressure on them than there is on Blacklist right now. And somehow through the smoke, Kenshi's going to find a way to land another shot right here as Adapt goes unprone while he tries to plant the bomb. And at that point, it all falls apart. Incendio finds one, but he's going to get traded out. And the Almighty players picked off one by one. The bomb defuse is going through. Blacklist International are your COD Mobile Eastern champions. And those are the 200 IQ plays that made it happen.